Hi everybody, good morning. Dr. Bob here. Wow, what do you know? We're into week 8 already. We're nearing the finish line, right? You can see the banner. I remember one time I ran a marathon, my one and only marathon, and oh my God, when you are at about mile 25 and your body is just saying, why are you doing this, you idiot? And you look up and you see that finish line banner, it's like, oh. So yeah, we're getting close. We're getting very close. So hang in there. We're almost there. I want to talk to you real quickly about your paper. Remember, it is a research proposal and it's worth 300 points. So that's almost a third of your grade in this course. So make sure you get it done. Sometimes the best thing to do with any kind of a paper that you have to do is to outline it, split it up into 3 or 4 sections, and that's kind of the best way to approach this. Tell me right away, don't waste a lot of time with preambles, in the history of the universe, get right to it. Here's what I propose, I'd like to research, the homeless, drug addiction, poverty, whatever it is you want to research, right? Get right to that question. Tell me what it is right away in your intro. And then give a quick review of the literature. Tell me what the literature has to say about it. And again, when I talk about the literature, I'm not talking about just a bunch of websites. It's okay to go on these websites and get some information, but I'm looking for academic sources, not the dictionary, right? That's not an academic source. Use your textbook, use other books, journal articles. And then, excuse me, tell me a little bit about how you would research that issue, and then wrap it up, right, with a discussion, a conclusion. So, and in that conclusion or in your discussion, some of the things you want to make sure you mention, talk about ethical problems that you might anticipate. Tell me about how you expect, what expectations you have for the research. Tell me about how you might have done the research differently in the future, that sort of thing, or if there's any potential for future studies. And always, as I tell you, never do a paper that you don't plan on using again someday. Save your final draft. You never know, if you take research methods, if you take some other course in sociology or whatever, another social science course, you might be able to use that paper again. Who knows? You go on to graduate school. I've had students in my undergrad research methods course go on to graduate school and use the project that they used in my undergrad research course for the master's thesis. In fact, I had one win an award recently for qualitative research that they learned and used in their paper in my undergrad course. So hang on to that paper. It's okay to double dip. Please, when you send me in your exam or your paper, do not attach any photos. I know a few of you really like that, and I think it's cool, but the problem is it creates a compatibility issue for Canvas. Canvas cannot handle those photos. They're too big, and then it gets kicked out and we have problems. Your inbox. Make sure you have those messages turned on. I know a few of you have had them turned off, and all of a sudden you go in there and you say, oh my God, Dr. Bob's been writing me messages for the last 6 weeks here that something didn't load up, your exam, your paper, your discussion or something. So make sure you have those messages turned on, you're receiving them and you're looking at them, and you're looking at the announcements. Okay. Excuse me, let me get a quick sip of water here. Do my Marco Rubio impression. If any of you remember that. Excuse me. All right, the discussion this week is about assimilation, and assimilation refers to how we here in the mainstream American culture try to assimilate other groups into the mainstream culture. And here's what we see happen. We'll take Latinos, for example. First generation Latinos come to the country. They're so very connected to their culture from the region from where they have come. And that includes the food, the music, the language, the clothing, and things like sports, right? They may be really into soccer or football, right? Second generation, they are still somewhat attached to their culture, but you find that they speak a combination of both English and Spanish very well. Third generation Latinos, though, here's what we're seeing is little, if any, ability to speak Spanish. They've adapted to the mainstream culture in a way that they're not very attached to the culture that their ancestors came from. The way they dress, the way they speak, the sports. Now maybe they're following the Oakland Raiders, right, instead of their favorite family's favorite football team or soccer team, and of course the food as well. So this is what we mean when we're talking about assimilation. This is what I'm looking for. Talk to me about that, about how various groups perhaps in your community, whether or not they've assimilated to the mainstream culture, how society has perhaps forced that mainstream culture assimilation on them, and it can refer to your own family as well, or your own experience. Okay, so that's it for this week. Again, as always, if you have any questions, problems, concerns, make sure you're communicating with me, and that goes for your other professors as well. This is the only way that we know what's going on. We don't have that classroom face-to-face experience where we say, hey, you know, what's going on with you? You haven't turned in an assignment, or you having a problem, you're having an issue. So please communicate with me, communicate with your professors, let us know what's going on if you're having an issue, a problem, a concern, and we'll do what we can. We want to see you succeed. So anyway, kind of ran over today a little bit longer than I expected to, so I'll shut up for now. Have a great week. I'll be talking to you soon. Bye.